Do you want to know what's happening around the world of sports? Look no further than The Bench with your host, Blaine Owl.
Welcome back to The Bench. It's Monday morning and we are coming off a great weekend of sports. We open up with my predictions from Friday's games in Week 11 for high school football. In Division I, we would have Colerain taking on Princeton for the second time this year. Colerain would go on to defeat Princeton 30-6. They take on Fairfield in Week 12. D2, MBL's very own Xenia season would come to an end as they lost to Walnut Ridge 28-7. Tied 7-7 at half, they just couldn't get things going in the second half. Walnut Ridge plays LaSalle in Week 12. In Division III, Wapak took on Trotwood after being tied 7-7 for a while. Trotwood cracked it open, getting a 33-21 victory, moving on to Week 12 where they will face St. Mary's in Sydney. Division IV, Clinton Massey versus Valley View. Going opposite of what I thought, Valley View would come out to beat Massey with a score of 42-28. I did not see that coming. Valley View will play Roger Bacon next week. Division V, Columbus Academy versus Amanda Creek. A blowout here as Columbus Academy comes up short with a 41-10 loss to Amanda Creek. Creek will play Ironton this Friday. And Division VI, Anna versus Minster, as top-ranked Anna takes on number 2 Minster. It was a decisive win for the Rockets as they would take down Minster 47-21. Now being at this game, Anna has a really good offense, and I think they can take the hardware this year. They got to beat Fairview, and I think they can do it. Division VII. Obviously, I didn't do my homework enough as Fort Laramie goes on to spank North Hardin 61-7. They play Marion Local next week on Saturday. This is set up to be a good game for sure. Saturdays are for college football. Number 2 LSU took on number 3 Alabama. In the first half, it was all LSU as the Ohio boy Joe Burrow would take control of the game, heading into half with a 33-13 lead. But Tua and the Tide weren't out of the fight yet. They would battle back and put it within 33-27, but Burrow and the Tigers would drive right down the field, putting this one away with the final 46-41. Joe would make, in my opinion, his final statement for why he is going to win the Heisman. Again, not why he should, but he is going to. Finishing 31 for 39 with 393 yards, Tua would finish 21 for 40 with 418 yards. Ohio State would do Ohio State things, dismantling Maryland 73-14 without Chase Young, who's expected to miss only one more game. Notre Dame would beat Duke 38-7. Chase Claypool was the man with 5 receptions for 97 yards. Undefeated no more. Penn State would fall to Minnesota 31-26 as quarterback Tanner Morgan would have a great night, 18 for 20 with 339 yards. Guys, Minnesota's the real deal, and they're a good football team. Beware for them. Texas would squeeze by Kansas State 27-24. Wisconsin would beat Iowa 24-22. Clemson over NC State 55-10. And Oklahoma would squeak by Iowa State 42-41 as the Cyclones were so close. At this point in the show, I bring in senior basketball player Taylor Grunkemeyer to talk about the upcoming Lady Indians basketball season. Welcome back. I'm Blaine Hull here with senior Lady Indian Taylor Grunkemeyer as we talk about this upcoming season. You haven't played in a couple years. You're coming back for your senior year. What does that mean to come back and play for your senior year for Pickle basketball?
I'm just excited to play with the girls that I started with.
Okay. As a team, you have a lot of young talent and a lot of core people coming back from last year's group with the first winning season in a long time in girls basketball. What are some of the team goals that you guys are looking to accomplish this season?
To win the NBL.
Okay, win the NBL title.
Yeah.
What are some of the individual goals as just a person you have for the team?
I just want to be a leader this year.
Looking at your guys' schedule, a big game that I have highlighted here is Friday, December 6th against Sydney. That's home. What are you guys, thinking about some of the rivals that you have on the schedule and big games? What do you think you guys have to do to win some of these big games this year?
Sydney, we beat them a couple years in a row, so we're looking for a win. And then Tip City and Troy, just more communication on the court and teamwork.
Okay. That's always key, is communication. Other than the goal as a team to win the MVL title, what are some other goals that you guys might want to reach this season?
Beating Troy and then just competing with Tip City.
Okay, so going after Troy 2 games, Tip City a couple times. Tip City's home on December 11th, and then our first game against Troy you guys have is January 8th. That's 6 p.m. That first one's away, so it's always good to have them as your last game. February 8th is at home. I'm Blaine Newell here with senior Indian Lady basketball player Taylor Grunkemeyer. As we wish you luck in the Lady Indians this season, let's head back to the studio. On to NFL Sunday. On Sunday Night Football, Dak and Zeke and the Cowboys would take on Kirk Cousins and Stephon Diggs' Vikings. It was a great game, but the Cowboys would end up falling short by a 4-point loss, 28-24. Prescott would finish 28 for 46 with 397 yards, and Zeke would be shut down with 20 carries for only 40 yards. Cousins would have a great night with 22 for 30 with 220 yards and 2 TDs. Diggs would only have 3 receptions, but 49 yards. Some other scores from around the NFL are brought to you by Heartland Federal Credit Union. Bengals got decimated 49-13 by the Ravens. Absolutely disgusting. Saints would take a bad loss 26-9 to the division rival Falcons. Browns would get a comeback win against the Bills 19-16. And the Titans knock off the Chiefs 35-32 as quarterback Patrick Mahomes did play for the Chiefs. Rams versus Steelers 17-12. The Steelers improved to 5-4 on the season as the Rams drop 5-4. Heading to the NBA. Here are some of the NBA scores from yesterday. Suns 138, Nets 112. Lakers 104, defending champs. Raptors 113. AD drops 27 and LeBron adds 13 in the Lakers loss. The Trailblazers would beat the Hawks in overtime 124-113. With that being said, with all that happened around the college football this weekend, here are my top 4 playoff teams. At number 1, I have LSU moving up above Ohio State just because those 4 top 10 wins they had and beating Alabama last week. Then I have Ohio State at 2. Followed by Clemson because I believe they deserve a spot. They're undefeated and they've been winning consistently. And then at number 4, I'm kind of at a toss right now. I'm going to go ahead and add Georgia back into the top 4 with that Alabama loss. They had that bad loss at the beginning, towards the middle of the season to South Carolina. But I think they can bounce back and maybe win the SEC. I'm not for sure yet. But my top 4, again, would be LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, and then Georgia. And then looking on the outside, I have Alabama at 5. With that being said, I'm your host, Blaine Newell. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.